This week on the Organized Life Podcast.
Chaos is exhausting for both you and your child. I know you may think, well, my child is chaos. But really, listen, they yearn for peace. They yearn for consistency just as much as you do. Hey, and welcome to episode 6 of the Organized Life Podcast, where we are creating a movement with powerful organizing strategies and systems that save you space, time, energy, and money. I am your host, Tequila Renee, the life organizing strategist and the owner of Xtreme Audacity Organized Solutions. Now listen, we are diving into another amazing conversation about organization, okay? So I want to give you a shameless plug really quick. Over the past few weeks, we've talked about some great things to help you get established on your organizational journey. Okay, so last week we actually talked about how to streamline your mornings with 5 great evening habits. Because listen, I believe that your morning starts the evening before you go to bed. So what happens before you go to bed? The things that you do to set yourself up for success for the next day. So your morning doesn't start in the morning. Your morning actually starts the evening before. Okay. All right. And then like a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we talked about how to get organized. And I gave you step by step on how to get organized. So you want to check that out. And in the blog, I actually wrote out step by step. We talked about it. We talked about a few steps, but in order to get the in-depth, you want to go grab the blog. Not number 2, but the next thing we talked about was a couple of weeks ago. We talked about that which you've created when you got organized, how to stay organized, how to maintain that which you have created. So listen, if you haven't watched those, listen to those on the podcast, on YouTube, you can definitely check it out on the blog because I give you step by step. But listen, you want to check it out, okay? Because it's all building up to the organized life that we are trying to create, okay? For you and for your child and family. So with that being said, today we are talking about training up your child, okay? I'm giving you 5 practical ways to support your child on their organizing journey, okay? It's all about how an organized life can shape an organized future. Okay? Right. So yes, I'm sharing with you another strategy that you can put into place. But remember, whatever strategy I'm talking about, whatever strategy you're putting in place, whatever system you're putting in place, if it does not save you space, time, energy, and money, you need to revisit it and you need to tweak it. Okay? All right, so it has to work for the betterment of you and your family, saving you in all 4 areas: space, time, energy, and money. You got it? All right. So really quick, if you have a topic that you would like to hear on the Organized Life Podcast, or if you would like to participate in a live coaching session, I promise not to embarrass you. It's going to be fun. You're going to be able to ask me all the questions and the things. We're going to just have a good time and talk about organization and how you can put strategies and systems in place to save you space, time, energy, and money. So either of those options, if you want to, be a guest on the podcast, or if you want to have a topic discussed on the podcast, send us an email at info@xtremeaudacity.com. I'll definitely make sure that's in the description. So let us know and we'll get all of that information out to you. All right. All right, enough announcements and all those things. Let's get into it. All right. So, chaos is exhausting for both you and your child. I know you may think, well, my child is chaos. But really, listen, they yearn for peace. They yearn for consistency just as much as you do. You probably have experienced the morning frenzies, right? trying to find the missing shoes, scrambling to pack lunches, trying to figure out where the homework is. Oh, shoot, we left the book bag in the car. You didn't do your homework last night? What is happening? Right? You're shouting, right? You're looking at, shouting around for your kids to get it together, right? Talking over the television. All these things that's happening in the morning that could have been saved if you had done some preparation in the evening. I just talked about that. All right. But by the time you make it out the door, everyone is irritated and stressed out, including you, right? And your kids, they're irritated and all those things, right? From the cluttered counters to the overflowing closets and the never-ending piles of laundry. They don't just wear you and your child out physically. They impact you and your child emotionally and mentally. You may not realize it, but, the disorganization your child sees every day, it can become normal to them, right? They learn to function in dysfunction. And over time, it affects the way they think, the way they behave, even the way they interact with others. So don't forget to check out last week's podcast and where I talked about how to streamline your morning routine with 5 evening habits, okay? Because your morning, remember, it starts the evening before, not when you wake up, okay? All right, back to our regular scheduled program. So if you've ever asked yourself why your child doesn't like to clean their room, or not even doesn't like to clean their room, but they don't clean their room, why they don't stay focused or manage their time well, the answer may not lie just in discipline. It may lie in what they've been exposed to or what system or strategy they haven't been exposed to. All right, so listen. The good news is, as you know, you have the power to change and shape their future. But listen, you want to start at home. We have to start at home. It doesn't start outside the home. So let's talk about how children thrive in structure. They thrive in organization, even more than adults. They crave consistency. They actually need it, right? They may not know how to ask for it or to ask for it, but a predictable routine in an organized environment helps them to feel secure and in control. When your child knows where their belongings are, what to expect next, what to expect the next day, it builds their confidence and reduces anxiety, right? If you want to foster a peaceful child, well, listen, depending on their temperament, give them order, give them consistency, give them organization, right? Just think about a classroom. The desks are aligned, supplies are in a designated space, schedules are posted on the wall, systems are in place, right? That's not an accident. It's intentional because children function better in organization and consistency, right? Why wouldn't we bring that home to our families, right? They practically do the same thing every day. They sit in the same seat. They eat at the same time. And in most cases, they eat the same doggone things, right? Kids love repetition. They thrive in it. There's usually only minor detail changes at school and at daycare, right? Not the main day-to-day activities, but just some small things that change, right? So if you change something at home, something new is happening. If you give them a heads up, they get excited about the new things, right? Because it's like new. We have this day-to-day routine. I know what we're doing. I know what activities are happening. But when something new is happening, they get excited. They really do. So creating an organized life at home is not about being perfect, right? It's about stability and modeling systems that your child can eventually adopt in their own lives, okay? So let's talk about organization trains your child for real life, right? When you involve your children in the organizing process and organizing their space, You're not just helping them to clean their room. You're not just teaching them, what to do or how to do it. You're teaching them valuable life skills like time management, responsibility, self-discipline, and, decision making, right? These are all about building routines and organizational habits. This builds confidence and stability. So, for example, teaching your child how to sort their laundry is not just about sorting their laundry, right? It's about showing them how to care for their belongings, managing their chores, right? A flow and a process of how to do laundry. Or let's talk about maybe having a designated space for school supplies and teaching them to respect their tools and preparing for tasks efficiently, right? So it's not just about putting your school supplies here or putting your craft supplies here. It's about respecting those things. It gives them confidence in knowing that they have what they need to complete their task. And they also know what they don't have. Giving them a bedtime routine, it teaches them self-regulation. And it's important for their sleep and mental and physical health. These seemingly small actions have long-term impact. Children raised in an organized home often grow up with more self-aware. They're more self-aware. They're more capable of managing their stress, more likely to establish healthy routines of their own. And I can definitely speak from experience on this one. My oldest child has healthy routines. He's 21. And listen, I talked about this in the previous episode. Don't get in the way of his routine. He goes to work. He comes home. He does his thing. He goes to the gym. He comes back. Don't let somebody, his brother, be in the shower when he gets home. He's like freaking out. Like he has a routine in his mind. It's not run on the wall. He just has his own routine. So I've definitely trained my children to create a routine, to live an organized life. And it doesn't take with all children at the same time because we're still working on the other one, okay? Okay, but anyway, I digress. Sorry. But listen, my oldest son, he definitely has modeled, like he is me. He is the boy version of me. Definitely systematic and likes things to go a certain way. Okay. So, that's a good segue into it starts with your example. Creating an organized life as a parent isn't just about systems and strategies. It's about modeling your values. When your child watches you, make your bed in the morning or prepare for the next day the night before, or, label bins in the pantry and having that system in place. They learn intentional living. It's not just about what we talked about. It's who we are and it's what we do, right? So your children copy what they see more than what they hear. You guys know that, right? So we have to lead by example. If you're constantly running late, if you're constantly misplacing items or yelling out of frustration, it becomes a cycle that begins very minor, but right, it'll also eventually blow up, right? So I will say this about my youngest son. He does not like being late, right? He's just like a mix of so many different things. He's definitely not as organized as my oldest son. But he doesn't like being late. If he says he's going to be somewhere on time, he's not playing with it and don't make him late, right? And he's actually 20. Okay, but I digressed again. All right, so when you see your family when your children see you using a calendar, the family calendar, or following their daily routine, or making, resetting your space in the evening, they're learning from example. And that's why organization is not just about what they see, what they hear or what you talk about. It's about a lifestyle. It's not magic, okay? And it starts with you. So let's talk about creating an organized environment that teaches. So all of this kind of works together. It may sound a little bit like the same, but it is slightly different. So I'm going to give you 5 practical strategies to support your child. There are organization and practical ways to set up your home to support your child's growth and development and their learning, okay? If you've been listening to me over the past, 5 weeks, I usually give you the 5 things up front, right? And then I'll discuss each one and break them down. So this week is no different. So I'm going to give you the 5 practical strategies to support your child, and then I'll break each one of them down. So first, we're going to talk about creating a family command center. Number 2, create a kid-friendly zone. Number 3, we want to use visual systems. Number 4, make routines visible. Number 5, get them involved in the process. All right. So number 1, creating a family command center. Here's another shameless plug. You guys, I have just been spitting out nuggets and things for you guys that really support each other. Earlier this year, I wrote an extensive blog on how to set up a family command center. I also had a command center party where I showed you how to set up a command center, right? So that's all on YouTube, the command center party. But the blog is on my website where I show you how to set up the family command center. It's extremely helpful for your day-to-day and your weekly operations of the family flow. A family command center, right? It's a space in your home where all the important information lives, right? This includes your calendar for school events, chore charts, bins for permission slips, right? Even hooks for your backpacks and jackets and anything else that the family needs or the kids need when they walk out the door, right? When your child knows where to check for what's happening next or where their essential belongings are, they begin to take responsibility for their time and their belongings. A well-organized family command center creates consistency. It reduces the chaos, and it helps your child to feel in control of their daily routine, allowing them to feel like a sense of control. It helps to build confidence, right? And I know we, as parents, we think we have control. I learned later on in my kids' life that it's an illusion. Your sense of control is very much an illusion. I learned that the hard way. Anyways, you want your child to feel in control because it helps to build their confidence, okay? Number 2, create a kid-friendly zone, right? You want to set up a designated area for schoolwork, for play, for daily responsibilities. That's the family command center, right? So use clear containers or labels in the drawers for toys, art supplies, books, right? When your child knows exactly where items go, they can clean up independently quickly, and they learn to respect their space and their things. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, use a visual system. Younger children, but in reality, most kids benefit from visual cues like chore charts, right? Picture labels or color-coded storage for their toys and belongings. Other kids, like your older kids, they may be good with planners and calendars or maybe a digital calendar. The kids, I'm learning that they really like those digital calendars. The big family calendar where it's digital. It can also show pictures and things like that from your adventures. But those really do help to manage their responsibilities. Okay, these tools, they reinforce structure and reduce the overwhelm. Number 4, make routines visible. Use a whiteboard or a magnetic calendar and put it in a central location to track activities and assignments and family plans. So this is still directly connected to the family command center, right? It helps with the routines. It helps to make them clear. Your children feel empowered to participate in the activities and the plans that are coming. Okay. Number 5, involve them in the process. When I tell you having your children help you set up a family command center, it's very important. Have them helping with the chores around the house. Have them helping with planning activities for the week or the meal prep. It definitely helps. Okay. So you want to let them choose bins for organization, especially in their space, creating that routine for the weekend, right? Let them get involved. This helps them to feel like take ownership, right? It helps to increase the buy-in, which is very important. When they feel like they're a part of the system, they're more likely to buy in, which means they're more likely to maintain it. And listen, I don't know if you know this or not, or maybe even realize this or not, but children are the best at holding each other accountable. Even you, right? That doesn't go there. Mommy said, daddy said, yeah, it can be annoying, but kids do not play when it comes to snatching each other up. Listen, they will gather their siblings. That doesn't go there. Don't do that, right? They like to be in charge and they want to be in control. So, and they like to make sure things get put back. If that's because they like to be in control, but I digress. All right. So like that really is important. We want to make sure we are getting them involved in the process. Okay. So let's dig into living an organized life together. An organized home doesn't mean everything is pristine and perfect. Okay. It means that your environment supports your values. It supports your family's needs. And for your children, that kind of stability is life-changing. When your kids grow up in a home where organization is consistent and life is approached with intentionality, they learn more than just where they're to hang their backpacks, right? They learn to take ownership of their space, their time, their energy, and their money, and eventually their lives. Organization builds a foundation of peace and productivity, not just for you, but for your child. And in a world full of noise and distractions, the prayer is that this gift will always carry them into adulthood, right? So listen, I hope this helped you. Training up your child is not about teaching them to read. It's not just about teaching them to read and tie their shoes. It's about equipping them to manage their life with confidence, clarity, and peace. It's about showing them how to live with intentionality, one small system at a time, one small strategy at a time. It teaches them how to put strategies and systems in place and live them out. Organization teaches discipline. It fosters independence. It helps your child to feel safe and prepares them for the real world that often feels overwhelming. An organized life doesn't just help you function better. It helps your child to thrive in this crazy world. If this podcast resonated with you, I invite you to share it with someone, a family member, a friend, or a coworker that you know has children, because you don't know what they're going through or if they even need this, but why not share it with them so that they can determine whether they need it or not. Okay. Please don't forget to leave a review, to follow, to subscribe, to like, to share. Remember, if there's a topic that you want to discuss, if you want to be a guest on this podcast and we do a live coaching session, go ahead and send us an email at info@xtremeaudacity.com and we'll get those details out to you and we'll get the topic into the rotation. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And remember, it's a lifestyle, not magic. Ciao.